Hello everyone. Good evening. So it's 7. So we have around 35 participants here. So more will join. So formally, so I welcome Ms. Rega Subhashni for the welcome note, and we can start our session.
Thank you, Christy. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another amazing session conducted by NIPM Student Chapter Council, School of Management Studies, NIT Calicut. I'm Rekha Subhashni, and it is my pleasure to introduce and welcome speaker for this evening, Mr. Muralikrishnan B, HR Business Partner, Ford Motor Pvt Ltd, India, who is going to enlighten us on the emerging trends in HR and expectation from campus. He's an HR professional with 13 years of experience in various domains of human resources. He is specialized in areas such as HR business partnering, organization development, HR analytics, employee relations, and is a coaching and culture champion. I would also like to welcome our industry mentor Jitin sir, faculty coordinator Shrijit sir, and all the students who have joined us for this session today. Sir, it is a privilege to have you here today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you to the NIPM student chapter and good evening everyone. Thanks for joining and taking time on a Sunday evening. For those who have instantly responded, showing where are you from, great. But I would like to see more of you, putting it in the chat in terms of where are you from and so that it gives me an idea about where are you all from. I would also like to say thanks to some of my HR buddies from Kerala, Jitin, and few more people who invited me to this forum. So what we will do in the next few minutes is let me take up the opportunity, to familiarize with you with some of the upcoming trends that I am aware. Of course, you will hear a lot from many of them, but let me share with you what I am aware and try to keep it exciting for you. Being a Sunday evening, I'm conscious I should not bore you with a lot of theory. So we'll have a mix of something to do with sports, movies, so that we can make it interactive. But the real success of this session is in terms of how all of us can stay engaged and interactive. So that's where I thought I should start the session by asking you, where all are you from? So there are around 30 odd people, but I've seen only 7 or 8 responses. So I will wait for a minute to ensure that all of you first put it in the chat. Where are you joining today from? So that should be the first activity before I get started. I could see people are joining from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Assam. But everybody, if you could just put it in a one line, maybe one. Where are you joining today from? Sure. Jitin, thanks for joining. I know you're joined to test if I'm doing justice. I will definitely keep up my words on a lighter vein. So this good evening, sir, all is okay. I mean, let's forget the sir and madam, because in a days to come, you all will be joining in HR like me in any other company. So just put it on the chat. Where are you joining from? That should be great. Okay, so there are people from joining from campus, Alapura, Wayanad, wow, Trishur, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, Ernakulam, Calicut, Kollam. All right. So what brought me here, right? I am always inspired by people who always give back to the society, especially people who are seasoned in the platform, going and trying to give back to the upcoming youngsters. So I was grown by those people. When I joined a corporate life in my initial days, I had certain people who were my mentors. It is that inspiration that I always try to take and go and give back to the society. So I'm a big fan of two people on the screen, MSD or the God of Cricket. Let's forget the recent controversies we see around certain tweets, but otherwise, both of them have always been very inspirational in terms of not only giving their performance, but giving their tips to all level of people. They didn't mind whether it is my country or your country. It's about giving back the tips. So that is why I'm here. Pardon me if I'm not taking away on a Sunday evening. But let's try to learn from each other. That's the way I think we can do justice to the next 1 hour between us. So the ground rules, I'll keep it very, very simple for a meaningful interaction. Let's try to make it more interactive, participative. He was clarifying something. Okay. I'm not sure if somebody is trying to check with me something, but what I will look for a meaningful conversation here is try to keep it as interactive, participative, engaging through the chat window. I'm sure there will be a TV running at your home or something else happening, some homework on your table. Forget it all for the next few minutes. We'll try to make it interactive between us. Don't worry about taking notes, even if that was the process you all had followed. I'll definitely give you a one-pager summary of what we are going to discuss. So I would encourage you to be interactive, make use of the chat to keep me informed where you are. Put up your questions that could come to your mind, or at least share your comment of certain contents, what you see, so that I know that you're with me. That's the way we can actually make use of the session, engaging between us on a virtual platform. So I will again check if you all could hear me well. Are you okay with the ground rules? If you could put good to go, then I think it's a good way to start. Just put G to G if you're good to go. Good. So now nice to see some responses coming in. So the way we will try to structure this session is I'll talk about what is definitely some of the emerging trends and what are some things a leader of the future, especially in HR platforms, should be known for. And to do the transition, what are some simple things you can do at campus? While it's a big topic altogether, what I've made it simple is picking up 5 important key trends. 5 things the HR leader of the future have to do, and 5 simple things that if you start doing from your campus today, you can be successful whichever platform you take. So it's a 5 mantra, 5 emerging trends, 5 things that HR of the future has to do, and 5 expectations from the campus. Right? So we'll start with the emerging trends. Trend 1. For some reason, I'm not sure why the headers I'm not able to hide. Yeah, I think this is far better, right? It is disturbing me. Let me keep it here. Yeah. So the trend 1. Okay, this is one of the key trend. I would like to say here one thing, guys. You all are trying to take up HR profession in a scenario where HR will have a lot of say. In a way, the COVID has given a lot of opportunity or importance to know what HR will say in the table. That today a lot of importance is given to how an employee will experience every moment they stay with the company. It's not just about the satisfaction, engagement. It's about employee experience. I joined a corporate in 2007-8 at a time in which we had the global financial recession. At that point of time, it is the finance directors who had a big say in terms of what decisions company has to do, what kind of expenses, what kind of investments. Finance was trying to have the domination in 2008-9 when there was a global financial crisis. With the pandemic, when people are gearing up for new things to work, everybody speaks about new normal, hybrid, lot of things. HR has a very big say. A lot of companies, HR are being consulted to see how do we keep our workforce engaged, how do we keep them experience every moment happy, how can we take care of their wellness well. So we are in a scenario where employee-centric approach is gaining momentum. When I say employee-centric, it's about whatever policies you have in the company, whatever process you have in the company, how much it is designed from an employee point of view. Many times policies used to be designed from looking at what is the budget of the company, what is the financial liability of the company, what the CEO thinks, what the MD thinks. But today policies are getting relooked, processes are getting relooked in the way that how employees will feel every moment. So that's a trend which is gaining momentum. And glad that you guys are joining at a time when employees' experience is going to be key, and employee wellness, physically happy, mentally keeping them engaged, ensuring that financially employees are positive, the social well-being is taken care. So employee experience and employee wellness, those are key things which is going to have a very big say in terms of how the companies are going to work. So that's where I'm saying the trend 1, which is very, very good platform for HRs. All the process and policies in the companies are going to be more of employee-centric. So this is trend 1. Trend 2, data analytics will do a lot of value addition in terms of how decisions are going to be taken. In our day-to-day examples, right? Many times we may go to a very small doctor who will just assess us with a very simple stethoscope, BP, looking at your eyes, looking at our body, our breathing. Suddenly they will prescribe few medicines in the tablets. But today, if you go to some of the hospitals, they will ask you to go through a series of tests. And through the test, they will diagnose what is the issue, what is the blood saying, what is the overall body saying. Accordingly, they'll predict what's your health going to be, and accordingly, they may prescribe you some medicine. So that's an example of how not just being descriptive, you will diagnose, you will predict, and prescriptive. So in same way, today, every company has a lot of data. What is going to happen is, in the days to come, how HR is going to take a decision, it won't be just being instant. We speak about MS Dhoni takes decisions instinctively. For those who follow films, Amitabh Bachchan can actually present himself on the screen just by looking at what is the dialogue and scenario. He will not read every dialogue. He will ask from the director, what is this particular scene? What is it I have to do? He will do it instinctively. But in the days to come, or when my bosses were there at the company, a lot of HR decisions used to be taken very instinctively, what they feel, what they think is right with the company. But in the days to come, data and analytics will play a very key role in terms of decisions that we take. I'll give an example of one of a Bangalore company here. Okay, a company in Bangalore wanted to relook into their transportation cost. They felt we are spending a lot on employee transportation for commuting from home to office and vice versa. They said we should relook into the transportation cost. Very simply, we can look at what are the routes the vehicles is operated. We can say which route is less occupancy, which route is taking more cost. We can try to cut that. That's a very simple way we can do. But this company, MD said, let's not do that way. Let's look at what the data says. What they did was, though there are very few routes in which there were very few takers, they didn't cut that route, because what they realized was the kind of people who travel or take in that route, they were no high potential. There were star performers who were coming in a route in which the vehicle was less operative. There were women employees who had bringing kids to office, using the company transport. So if we cut down transport in those areas, we may lose star performers. We may lose productive women employees. We may have a very big impact on diversity of the company. So they thought about multiple aspects using the data. Accordingly, decided in terms of what is the right way to address transportation. Conventionally, any company will do very simply. They just put a table, which route is less occupied or which route is most costly, cut that. But the smartness or the beauty of data analytics is you can look at in multiple ways. If I cut this route, what is going to be potential benefit? What is going to be potential impact? What is the kind of people coming? Accordingly, they take the decisions. So similarly, a lot more things, a lot of companies are doing in terms of data and decision. If you want to relook into a policy, how many people are actually enjoying this policy? How many people are actually feeling bad about this policy? What is that we can do? So a lot of data gives surprises. So my invite to all of you here is, I know all of you will have a subject on data and analytics or Excel and many other things. Try to learn as much as things that a simple MS Excel can do. I'm sure all of you will be at least knowing what is MS Excel. Try to do as much as the MS Excel can do. If you can learn that in campus, whichever company you go, it may be a very small company or it may be one of the biggest company, MS Excel will always give you the basic platform for you to survive on data and analytics. Many times people come and say, I don't know how to put a chart. I don't know how to do VLOOKUP. These are all very, very simple things. If you know, you can be a lot more productive in terms of how you join a corporate. So my invite to you is learn MS Excel as much as you can. And if you are comfortable to learn any other analytical tool, it's great. What is trend 3? Trend 3 is about how technology and we are going to work together. I recognize we have a big diversity in this group. We have people from Hyderabad, we have people from North, but I'm sensing that you would have got a spot of some of these movies, or at least you would have read about who is Sophia and what is Sophia. I know people who are from Kerala will be familiar with the top picture, and perhaps most of you who are following Pan-India movies, I'm guessing or I'm assuming that you would have seen the movies. Somebody would like to unmute. People who are joining from Varanasi or Hyderabad, some of you are there. If you'd like to unmute and say if you know the names of this movie, forget the top one, which could be more of Malayalam centric, but at least these 3 photos, anybody can give a try. You can put it in the chat also if you are not comfortable to mute yourself. You could put it to the chat. Or who would like to speak? It has to be interactive, guys.
It's Endiran, sir, Tamil movie.
I'm familiar with Robo, Chitti. I think one is Endiran. Great, great. Good to see some responses. Let me bring up the screen back. So it's a movie in simple words. Now, for those who are not familiar, it speaks very simply in terms of how a man-made mission is now impacting today in daily life. It speaks about if you give that space to missions in your life, how it could impact your way of working, how if bots have human emotions, now how it could impact a human's way of thinking. A lot of ways in which these movies were insightful. Perhaps for those who are not familiar, if you're comfortable, at least try to see those movies with subtitle. At least 2.0 or the Indian are some powerful movies which gives you those concepts. But I would be inviting you to learn more about who Sophia is. Just for a quick reference, Sophia is the first robo citizen, right? You can call it humanoid, you can call it design of artificial intelligence, but Sophia can speak like it's a bot, but it can speak like people. It can pick the human emotions. It can also share emotions, and more training is being given in the days to come that a lot of things which an HR actually does in the company, tomorrow robots like Sophia can easily do. Today, a lot of people might walk to HR to ask the basic policy. They may consult you for some simple things. What is going to happen in the days to come is these bots will be designed. Very simple. Today, for any mobile issue or any bank issue, you may be calling some customer care. Even before somebody speaks, it takes you through a lot of automated calls, right? At the end of it, you are speaking to somebody. But I can tell you, in the days to come, that somebody, again, will not be a human. It could be a trained humanoid. So what today companies are trying to see is what basic things people come to HR. What basic things people are not trying to come to HR. Everything is trying to be automated. So what you will see in the days to come is more and more bots will be there in part of how the HR's organization is going to be. So we need to be smarter. We need to know how to work with bots. Otherwise, our life will be a very big mess. You should know what kind of command to give to a bot. You should know how to work with the bot. Otherwise, life will be miserable for us. So no more it is about human versus mission. It is going to be human and mission. So I would encourage you to learn as much as with simple gadgets that you have. You may have a very simple TV remote at your home. Just see if the TV remote has 20 buttons, do you know what all these 20 buttons does? That's the first step. I'm sure all of you will have a mobile phone. See if you know all the features of your mobile phone. There will be different apps. There will be different mobile standard versions. There will be few software you've added. Try to see if you're familiar to use with basically the mobile phone that you have, the TV that you have. You may have a washing machine or any other gadget at your home. It will have its own catalog. Start with that. See if you can make a smarter way of working with that. If you're somebody who says, no, I don't know all this, I would encourage you to at least change the gears now. More we are comfortable with using the technology, we can survive. In this Corona time, actually I'm joining you from Kerala, though my work location is Coimbatore. For the last 9 months, most of us are working from home only based on the technologies that we know, right? It's because of Zoom usage that we are able to connect like this and speak. Similarly, a lot more things are happening around us. So I would encourage you to learn what's happening with each of the technology. You need not be a master, but at least you should know how to use it. Right? So start with your TV remotes, start with your mobile phones, and then get into all the catalogs of the products you may have. That's the start. If you can do that, then you can survive with many other big things that could come your way. The fourth trend. This is very key, guys. This is going to be a very big game changer in terms of how decisions are going to be done. It's called diversity and inclusion. As we speak, this word itself is getting redefined. It is called diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's going to be DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So all these years companies were saying we should have good male, female, all those stuffs are there. But today companies are saying it's not only just having male, female, ensuring that both of them feel equal. There are companies which is now venturing into say, can we bring in the third gender? There are companies which is now saying, let's respect what is LGBT kind of concept in the society. We will also be inclusive of those kind of concepts in the company. Many MNCs have already said our policies are gender neutral. We should ensure we have all the facilities not only for male, female, but for the third gender and people who follow LGBTQ. Let's try to give that inclusive workplace. We speak about millennials, Gen X, Gen Y, people who are born at 60s, 70s, 80s, everybody thinks differently. But any company to be successful, we need to ensure that all the age group people are now working together. In our house, sometimes we may agree, disagree with our grandparents, with our parents. But tomorrow, some of the companies you may join, you may have a person who's age of your father, age of your brother, age of even your grandfather. We should know to work with them. Their thinking will be different, our thinking will be different, their thoughts will be different, our thoughts will be different. But for a successful company, we need to bring everybody together. So the way we think together, the way we work together is going to be very, very key. So that's where diversity by all means. I put a lot of ways today companies are saying language, having people from pan-India basis, different religion, different experiences, culture, skill. A lot of ways diversity is being looked at. Apart from the way we look at generations, and what we are also seeing is in the days to come, you may not have everybody who is a permanent employee. There will be a lot of people who may do part-time job, a short-time project with the company for a particular skill, and this is called gig economy. As you speak, the concept of gig economy is getting very, very brighter these days. What is happening is with this corona and pandemic, we have learned that we can do a lot from working from home, right? So today companies are looking at few jobs which people can do from anywhere. For example, there are companies which need French speaking people. They are not doing jobs for Europe market. They need people who can speak French. Today you will have places like Pondicherry or Mahi, which is near to Calicut. These places will have good French speaking people, but they may not be very comfortable to relocate. So let's say a company in Bangalore wants to hire a French speaking people. Either they will look for a person who's in Bangalore who knows French, or they may try to pick people from Pondicherry or Mahi. Can you come and work here? In the days to come, these guys will say, I can work for you, but I want to work from my hometown. I will work for 6 hours for you, but I can only work from my hometown. If the skill is in need, then the companies have to respect. So that's the concept of gig economy. There are a lot of employees, especially female employees, once they become mothers, they actually take a break to take care of kid. And it takes some time for them to come back to office. Today, companies are saying, can you do part-time job from your home? We would appreciate and come where you have your skill. Can we work from there? So that's another example of how gig economy is picking shape. So I would say that diversity and inclusion is going to be a very big game changer in terms of how HR policies are done. Our policies, our process has to respect everybody, all kind of workforce, all kind of generation. So it's going to be another game changer as we speak. You may see the syllabus getting rewritten as DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we spoke about 4 trends, right? Let me bring the 5 trends, then I will now pause for some questions. The trend 5, which is called the new normal, right? So this is again blessing in disguise through this pandemic, where what we are saying new normal is when people come back to office, when vaccines and other things happen, when people are coming back to office, when they are productive, how are we going to have the right workplace? Now, what is going to happen is, what is exactly a work? Because today there are a lot of work which we need to go physically by going to office, or there are few works which we can do from anywhere. Who is our workforce? Whether it is all permanent employees with a company uniform, or some set of people who will be working from anywhere, or it is going to be humanoid. Those things are now come to a change in terms of what is the workforce and workplace, right? Workplace, it could be your hometown, it could be office, it could be some other city, some other country. So a lot of things are not taking a relook, especially after this pandemic. So this is again another challenge, for us today. When people are saying, let's start hiring 10 people more, let's start hiring 500 people more. Not everybody will go to hire people who can join you at your company office. They can hire from different sources. They can hire from different places. They can hire from different model of hiring. So what you will see is with this pandemic, which is called the new normal, the future of work, workforce and workplace, everything is going to take a big shift. So a lot of research is happening. Every companies are trying to define their own new normal. What is important is you guys stay connected on how other policies are doing. There are a lot of media news comes in terms of how companies are acting. Some companies says permanently we will allow people to work from anywhere. We will allow this set of people not to work from office, this set of people to work from home. We will automate this job. We will bring in this kind of new skill. So a lot of trends are happening. I would encourage you to keep a tab of through the newspaper and the social media in terms of what some of the emerging trends are. So I've covered 5 trends, right? I will pause here and I will now open up the chat to see have you picked the 5 trends before I move on. You can put in, say, so far so good if you have understood till now. You're waiting for somebody to put the so far so good or what? Put from so far so good. So I see Christy. Understood. So again, don't type like a bot. Just because I said so far so good, I don't think you should again put no so far so good. So I'm wondering, is it somebody human or a humanoid who is typing? You should type like a human, guys. Yes, sir. Good. Can you please elaborate on gig economy? Definitely, we will elaborate on that. But I wanted to check if everybody is with me for now. Okay. So if you're everybody with me, good. I would encourage you to put at least one trend you remember. We spoke about 5 trends, right? Just put one trend you remember. We'll see if collectively we have now picked all the 5 trends. So technology, yes. Data analytics, yes. New normal. Diversity, was it only diversity or something else? Diversity and inclusion. Thank you. Thank you, Archana and Neetu Jason. Equity, yes. Smart. Thanks, Rijit. Amjad Roshan, HR analytics, great. Equity, yeah. So you said, I think data, trend 2 you have picked, trend 3 technology you have picked, trend 4 data you have picked, new normal. What was the first one? Employee centric capture. Thank you guys. Amit and Mohammed. So within employee centric, I had put couple of things. Employee experience, thank you, Reshma. Spot on. And employee wellness, thank you. So employee engagement was covered, but I would say employee engagement will become an old syllabus. The days to come, it is going to be employee experience and employee wellness. Employee engagement is still the syllabus for you, no doubt. But by the time you guys join the company, the syllabus will get rechanged as no employee experience. That's the upcoming trend. Because engagement is how people are feeling today, are they happy? But experience is what are the emotions they go through? What are the thoughts the employees will have? How can we make it inclusive? How can we respect where they come from? You cannot keep everybody happy every day, right? You'll have to understand what their emotions are. You can see what you can do about it. That is experience. Engagement is whatever issue you have, you should work for the company. You may have 100 issues at home, but you should work for the company. That is a simple way of what employee engagement is. But employee experience is as a person, what is that you're going through? How can we ensure whatever is happening around you, we still can take care of you? That's employee experience. So that's the way the policies will get changed from an employee point of view. So any questions? I saw one question on gig economy. All other, should I assume it was you have understood, or you can put it in the chat. So gig economy, what I'm saying is, it is like a part-time job or a short-time job, which people will do in the days to come. And it need not be a full-time contract. Today, what happens is, if you join a company, you will expect that I will have a permanent offer with that company, and I will have a letterhead in which the company will say, this is your appointment letter, this is your ID card. You will have service with us till the age of retirement, which is 58, 60. That's a full-time employee, permanent job. There are few companies which will say, I will give you a contract job. You will not be in my roles. You will be in some other roles. Gig economy is kind of a short-term contract. For example, an employee who was going on maternity leave. What happens is, once they are becoming mothers, it takes time for them to come back to office. They will say, I would like to work with a company for short term for 2 years, 3 years. So that contract of 1 year, 2 year in which they will do a part-time job for some particular skill. That is a kind of gig economy. If I could give you some examples, a marketing company wants to have a person who's good in designing some short videos or short films. They see there is a skilled person, but the person is not willing to come to office daily, work for 10 hours with you. They don't want to work with you as a full-time employee, but they say, I will work with you for 2-year contract. Whatever jobs you give me, I will do it justice to that. So they will say, we'll give you that contract for 2 years. And after 2 years, either the employee will continue or they will move. I spoke about that language specialist, right? Today, there are countries in India, there are companies in India which has brought jobs from other countries. We have Spanish speaking jobs, we have Portuguese speaking jobs. We have people who if they know to speak German, they can survive. But today, these skills are very, very demanded also, because these people have a lot of opportunities. Earlier, we have to ensure they are comfortable coming to our workplace, wherever it is. If our office is in Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, we will ensure they stay with us for a full-time job. But what will happen to this company? They just feel bored. They don't want to do any job beyond German speaking. So what they will say is, I will work with you for 2 years. I will do all German jobs, German speaking jobs for you for 2 years. After that, they will go to some other company where they can do the same job. So that's one example of what gig economy is. Let me see if you have got that. Whoever has asked, I think I should see who asked that question. Let me see if you have got it. Otherwise, I'll add Rega Subhashni. Yeah. So what is going to happen in the days to come? A lot of people see today in Kerala. Now you have a lot of IT people who have come from Bangalore. They are working here. They have vacated all the houses. Tomorrow, the companies will say, come back, guys, our office is ready, come back. A lot of them will say, no, I'm happy working from my hometown. I will work with you for 6 months. After 6 months, when this company says, no, you want to come back, they will say, I will resign from you. I will join some other company for another 6 months. They will say, I will do this job happily, but I am not getting into a full-time contract with anybody. They will just take 2 months contract this company. They may get only salary. They may not have other benefits like PF or bonus. Some of the companies may have, some of the companies may not have. But they will do a short-time job with many companies. In fact, I know many of my friends, they work for 4 hours in a day for one company in the morning. Another 4 hours, they will work for another company in the evening. In between, they have time to sleep, laugh, enjoy, and weekends, they are aram safe fee. So they are happy. They know 4 hours for this company, 4 hours for this company. And in between, they have time for themselves. They get a good salary. They are able to manage. This model is very, very strong in countries like Canada, Australia. In India, it's emerging. We all believe that we should have a full-time employee with the company. If our family asks, if our neighbor asks, we should have a name, which company, right? But in countries like Canada, UK, Australia, it is nothing. They will work for a contract for 2 hours in one place, another 2 hours in one place, another 2 hours in one place. Maybe if you speak to your friends who are doing some MS and other courses in foreign countries, they'll tell you. Gig economy is very common model there. In India, it is only picking it up. Post-pandemic, we will see a lot more benefit. One more advantage from an HR perspective is the cost budget of managing these people will be minimal, because many of the other benefits like bonus, PF, all those things, some of the companies need not comply. So today law is saying, yes, you should give to them, but many of the companies will say, this, we'll give you this package. In that way, a lot of administrative cost benefit is there for the companies, but getting the talent is not easy. So we'll have to wait and watch in this space. So shall we move on so that we are on time? So we saw the emerging trends. now we will go to HR leader of the future. I will not spend much time here. It's a quick thing. If you guys have to be a successful HR in future, these are some things that you should be conscious of. These are no things which, this is actually something I picked from NHRD, National Human Resource Development Network. NHRD has put up a vision of what an HR CEO should like in 2030. So if somebody has to become a CEO of or a CHRO HR in 2030, these are some skills. I'm not saying that all of us will become CEOs or CHROs or a director of an HR, but if you really are somebody who wants to be a successful HR, 5 simple mantras. To start with, you should understand the business, whichever companies you work for. You cannot say that I am only HR, I will only know HR policies. You should know what the business is. I was fortunate when I joined Ashok Leyland in my first job. For 1 month, I was actually making trucks. I didn't do any HR work. For 1 month, I was actually standing in the line and putting all the nuts and bolts. When I joined Ford in 2010 also, almost every day, half the day, I was asked to go and work in the shop floor, get a feel of what actually we are making. So there are companies like that. If you join Tata Motors, if you take up companies like ICICI, if you take up companies like Hindustan Unilever, they won't give you a job straight away in HR. They will first tell you, go to sales, understand what is our product, what do our customers see, what is our field experience. So understand the business first. They will ask you to take up an assignment in another department, finance, purchase. So what I would encourage is, don't just say, I'm an MBA HR, I will only give importance to HR subjects. You should understand economy, you should understand finance, so that you are comfortable. We are just a week away from the central union budget has passed. I'm not sure if you have understood what the budget is, but try to see what essence you can make out. You can do it as a group activity. There will be some people who are enthusiastic, some people who do not understand it, maybe Greek and Latin, but learn from each other. So my first tip is, try to understand business as much as you can if you want to be a successful HR person. Tip number 2, you should be the transformation catalyst. Now, what is happening? A lot of companies are bringing in new trends, new technology, new policy, new systems. So a lot of times people will be comfortable what they are doing today. There will be a huge change, no resistance to change. So in those scenarios, it is HR who will do a transformation catalyst. I have an experience of few companies where when a new technology comes in, when a new machine comes in, the people at the factory will feel, no, you are going to cut away your jobs. But what HR has to do is they will try to be the transformation catalyst. We need to ensure we are between what the business thinks and what the employees thinks. Try to ensure we manage the transition well. So if a company has to change, if a company has to overcome the technological disruption, if it has to take the people along, there is a need for a good transformation catalyst, and that role definitely HR will always play. In this pandemic, when every company said lockdown, work from home, work from anywhere, everybody were taken aback. Every company, if we ask, one successful HR system would have ensured everybody was comfortable working from home. Everybody was ensured, their benefits are taken care. When lockdown was removed, when people are coming back to office or factory, how do we bring back people? How do we ensure we give that confidence? So these things are not easy. It's a big transformation, right? So those companies where HR work together with the CEOs and MDs of the company, they have been successful. So we need to be ensured, whatever disruptions come our way, we should be the transformation catalyst. So more you understand the business, more you understand your people, you can try to be that transformation catalyst. Third tip, be a master of technology and analytics. Again, my encouragement is, moment I say mastery, it's not that you should do a PhD in that technology. You need not know how to code a particular language, but you should know how to use this technology, how to use this particular analytics tool, how to read this data, how to interpret this data. So if you know that today, you can be successful. Many times we will have a lot of data, but we need to know how to present the data, how to understand what the data speaks, how to use the particular technology. So that is why my simple request to all of us, start with MS Excel that you may have with you and any other analytical tools that your syllabus may teach you, and start with your TV remote, mobile phone, and all the gadgets catalog you may have with you, right? So if you do that, you will be familiar to start there, and then you can become a master of technology and analytics. Try to learn what are things that comes and try to familiar what it is all about, how it can be beneficial. Fourth tip, always expand your boundaries. Don't always confine your network within HR people. You need to confine with people of other departments, whichever company you go, and you should also expand your domain with HR people outside your company also. Now I am here because in the last 2 months I spoke to a lot of HR people from Kerala, and they took me to Jitin, and Jitin took me to here, right? So that's an example of how we expand our domain boundaries. I could have said I am an HR in Coimbatore, I'm comfortable, I just come for work from home, work for office, remaining days I could have spent time with family. But I thought, let me try to network with people in Kerala. It could always help me in the long run. And I'm trying to connect with all the forums. And that way it's about learning from each other. So I would encourage you to build your networks of other departments within your company. And in other companies, you should know the HR people. And that networking will start from your college. And the fifth tip, you should be the culture architect. Any company in which the vision mission is very clear and people adhere to that vision mission, people understand the values, principles of the company, they are very successful. And there again, HR is going to play a very key role, because companies will say, we will make this quality product, we will do that kind of product, we are customer service, but the culture has to be set. How many of you are happy going to State Bank today to fill up a DD? If I am saying, giving you 2 tasks in front of you, you can go to a public sector bank, or you may go to a private sector bank to fill some bank formalities, right? Which will you prefer if you have that experience? Somebody says private banks. Why? Why? Any reason that you say you prefer to go to a private? So there are some things that you expect, right? Today you may go to a particular company to buy a particular product. Whichever product the company makes, we may still be happy to go to the particular thing. There may be a tea shop which is you're affectionate. There could be a hotel you're affectionate with. What happens is, when they have multiple chain, how they maintain that brand, how they maintain that systems everywhere is key. And that's where the culture architect is very keen. If you have read about how McDonald's make burgers, their burgers is standard everywhere. Whichever part of the globe you go, the McDonald's burger always used to be the standard. Their making concept is going to be standard. They've set a culture, and they will ensure that culture is set everywhere. And to do that, we need definitely good system, and HRS has to play a key role there. So my invite to you all is, if you are somebody who can update your business acumen, understand what the business is, if you can be a transformation catalyst, if you can try to be understand all the technology analytics around you, if you can network your boundaries, and then try to be the culture architect of whichever company you work for, you can definitely be a successful HR person. And that will always come by employee experience and technology, which can take you to the next place. This is a little heavy, but I thought I should try to invite you and make it simple with some example. I will pause here and check if there are any questions or clarity in this slide. We'll see the chat. No long queues. Okay, private banks you are seeing, right? So any questions in this one? Or at least you should put up, I put up 5 things in that slide, right? If you all of you can put up one thing that you picked, even if you pick the one thing and you can apply, it's a good start. Understand the business, yes. So the best way to understand your own syllabus, what it says. What else? Yeah, you need to be a transformation catalyst. Absolutely. Then Mastery in technology and analytics. So I would say analytics and technology, pick up as much as you can, guys, so that you can always survive wherever you go. Expanding your networks, try to be that culture architect wherever you go. A lot of challenges, right? Today, a lot of companies are saying, we don't want everybody to come to office daily. You can work half the day from home, half the day from office, or you can work from any part of the globe. You can still work for us. But how that person is going to be culturally integrated to you, that's a key thing, right? We have an example where in our company, we have hired almost 1,000 people last year. Making them integrated to culture was the key thing, right? You can always say, this is your job, do it. But making them understand what is the values and principles of the company, making them inducted into us when they have not seen what is their office, when they have not seen their colleagues in person, they have only seen virtually, making them integrate into the culture is not all that easy. So HR has to ensure we play a key role in those aspects, and it's going to be there in manufacturing companies when technologies changes. Managing the workforce is not easy, right? Especially if you're working in a unionized environment, it's going to be a real game changer. That will definitely be a very interesting, batting pitch or bowling pitch to play on. But if you can really handle that union and the employees in any job that you take, it's going to be a very big learning for all of you. So that's an example of how you can be a culture architect. So let me pause here. This was little heavy. Next thing should be little easy for you. Let me check if you have any questions on any of this section. Just put it in the chat. I'm happy to clarify that, then go. Or I will expect a response G to G with a human element, not like a bot. I don't see good to go. So what happened? Okay, so Rekha Subhashni puts a smiley to give that human element. Great, it's a simple. Let me see what other interesting responses come. Good to go with a human element. I will move on after I see 5 responses minimum. Thank you. It looks like an order or a message, I'm not sure, but we will definitely proceed further. Yeah. So 3 responses so far. Fine to proceed. All good. Yet. So what is it yet, Nitin? It's all good. Yet you want to continue or all good? Yeah, keep moving. No. I'm just kidding here. Don't worry. I mean, on a Sunday evening, I just wanted to keep it lighter for all of you. Don't feel sorry about it, right? Be sportive. See, the way I'm looking at all of you guys are going to be, an HR person like me in any other company. So it's only a kind of peer kind of learning I'm doing. It's not about you guys are in college and I'm in corporate. Don't worry about that. My duty is to bridge the gap between what the industry and what the academy is. So feel free. Let's make it as an open fire chat. So let me move to the third section, which is what? The key thing for all of you to know, right? So you've seen 5 emerging trends, and I showed you 5 things an HR leader of the future has to do. Now we look at 5 campus expectations. There could be hundreds of expectations, right? If you go to any senior person, say, well, sir, if I want to join your company, what I should know, hundreds of expectations are there. But I thought I should tell you 5 simple things you can start doing now, guys. And if you can do that 5 simple things, you can be successful anywhere. This is from my experience, from my interaction with many of my peers who are in the industry. My tips have given to a lot of freshers, and I have done this program now intensively for many other colleges. With that, I am giving this tip to you. I'm not saying you should definitely do it. If you do it, it will make a meaning for you. That's the only take home. tip number 1, right? Get ready to soil your hands wherever you go, right? Whichever company you go, whatever job you do, you should always first ready to understand the company by getting ready to soil your hands. Don't think that I will only do hi-fi jobs. I will only study this subject. I will only do this assignment. No. Whatever assignment has come to you, whatever job has come to you, do it with full heart, do it with your full passion and commitment so that you can always learn from there. I picked up a couple of movies here. In fact, one movie is from Kerala and another is from Tamil Nadu, but the same movie was made in many other languages. This is a movie something, and it was made in Telugu and many other languages. Just for the benefit of people who may not know these movies, right? In both the movies, there are people, like an young person who's actually the hero of the movie. They actually come with very high-fi thinking they can do big things. But the ecosystem will say, grounded, do first things basic. First you do this, then only we can give you better things. In this movie, grandfather first will tell the guy that he has an international chef course, but they will say, first you learn to clean the table of the customers. He will say, I want to do the cooking, but the grandfather will say, wait, it has not come to you to do the cooking. First go, clean the table. Learn the fundamental, learn how to interact with customer, learn to know what the customer thinks. In this movie, a guy will go to a person's his girlfriend's brother and say, I want to marry your sister. He will say, I'm a farmer's family. If you want to marry a farmer's sister, first you show me that you can do a farmer. So you'll give him that open challenge. This movie was made in many other languages. So I'm sure that any company you go, you will definitely not do a hi-fi job tomorrow. You will definitely start with something small, but get ready to soil your hands and learn as much as you can. A friend of mine joined a very big MNC in Bangalore. He was in my same batch. When he joined, it's a very big company. I don't want to tell the name of the company. At least for the first 1 week, every day, yes, his job was, after he joins, puts that siren, shows the punching card swiping. The first thing that his boss will do is he will give him a very big file. He will tell him, this is a file. There you see a photostat mission. Do a photostat of all these missions and then give me the file in the evening. So he was thinking, hey, I come with a big MBA degree. What is that you're asking me to do this photostat? So first 1 or 2 days he struggled. He didn't know how to use that photostat mission. He was struggling to do that back-to-back Xerox, all those stuff. He had actually puzzled. But in 3-4 days he picked up. In 5th day he was smart enough that he completed whatever file he gave on 5th day within half day. So the boss asked, so 5 days in the company, how are you today? So what did you learn? Sir, I learned how to know photostat. Well, you gave me every day a big file. Today I can do that photostatting in a small and simple way. I have learned how to use that machine well. Give me another file tomorrow. I can do that in 2 hours. The boss said, okay, but is that what we hired you for? So the expectation actually was something else. The expectation from the boss was, he was to read what is there in the file. Photostatting could have been a task given, but what was expected was read what was there in the document. In fact, all the files that was given to him every day was some of the key policy decisions the company did. That company had a very big debate, argument between management and union, which we call as wage settlement. Not sure if you have understood that word. Whenever companies have a management and union, how they work, they will agree a concept called wage settlement. So every element of that discussion is documented well. So the boss expectation was not only the photostat, read what is there in the document, and you should come and ask me what did you learn. But sometimes the way we are following the task, we will not think about what actually is the work given to us. So my request is, whichever company you go, get ready to soil your hands with whatever jobs come your way. Don't cry, don't complain. What the hell, what the job is this? Every job is its own learning. More you learn with some of the basic jobs, you can be successful. I'll give an example of with a bamboo here. Anybody knows what this bamboo is? Would you like to put it on the chat? As we do it, I'm sure most of you know these movies. This is Ustad Hotel and this is something. But for those who would not know this movie, please help them offline tomorrow, guys, because they should not feel it is Greek and Latin. Let's be diversity and inclusion here. So my invite to all the people who know these movies, teach your friends, who don't know what this movie about, so that they also are understood what I am conveying. In that while, can somebody put it on the chat? What is bamboos? Anybody would like to give a try? What bamboo is this? If you don't know, I'll just share it. Don't worry. It's called Chinese bamboo. The interesting part of Chinese bamboos, first year when you actually plant the Chinese bamboo, it will hardly grow by 1 inch. Second year, another half inch. Third year, another half inch. Fourth year, another half inch. In the first 4 years or 5 years, it will not even grow more than 1 to 2 inch. So think about somebody who's actually planting a bamboo every day. For after 4 years, it would have grown only for few inches. You can easily say it, very, very few inches. Parallelly, if you have grown a plantain tree, it would have grown, it would have given you bananas, it would have given you fruits, everything. But what happens to the Chinese bamboos? Between the 5th and 6th year, within 6 months time, it will grow 80 feet high, right? So the first 4 years, 5 years, it would not have actually grown up at all. But between the 5th and 6th year, in 6 months time, it will grow up to 80 feet. What happens is in the first 4 or 5 years, it goes down and strengthens its fundamentals. The roots will go so strong below that whatever earthquake, whatever big cyclone, tsunami comes, the trees will stand intact. Right? So that's the importance of how strengthening your fundamentals are by getting ready to soil your hands. Parallelly, the banana tree within first year, it would have grown, it would have given you banana. But one heavy rain or one good storm, the tree will fall down. So my encouragement to all of you is, in the first 4 or 5 years of your job, please try to learn as much as you can, take up different jobs, take up different assignments that could come your way, learn as much as you can, strengthen your fundamentals, go down and strengthen your fundamentals, so that after whichever job comes your way, you can stay excited and do it. Today, whatever job my boss gives, I'll be happy to do it because I've seen the different aspects of HR and I can actually manage it quite well. So if you have to be an all-rounder in your company, you should try to strengthen your fundamentals in the first 4 or 5 years by how the Chinese bamboo went down and strengthened its root, so that it can survive any tsunami, any disruptions that could come your way. So this is tip number 1. What is tip number 2? I have to hide it. Wait to see disturbing. Okay, let me keep it here. Tip number 2. Don't follow the process blindly. Okay, just because you are given a test procedure, don't do it blindly every day, right? This is what will happen if you blindly follow a procedure which is given to you. You will have to learn the process. You should challenge the process, and you should always question the fundamental. Only then innovation will happen, right? If you are somebody who will just follow the process blindly, one, it could become simple things like this, or tomorrow the technologies can easily take away a job that you do. So my invite to you all of us, whatever jobs comes your way, learn the process, challenge the process, and then question and see if you can improve. A very good example of that is the way Apple, over a period of time, has not only improved its product, it also improved its logo, its feel, look and feel, everything, right? If you see how Steve Jobs would have launched some of his products, you should see the video. He will put a small courier-like envelope and he will say, this is the notepad we have recently launched, the MacBook. The way they do the innovation, bring it, it's really amazing. So if you have to be successful, don't follow the process blindly. Always question and always challenge, so that innovation will always come. And here also you should do that in college. Just because assignments have come your way, don't do it blindly. Try to understand the concept behind those assignments. Try to learn. Try to see if there could be some better way of understanding the concepts. Then only it will go. A lot of school kids today are happy to learn with concepts like Byju's learning app, right? They use it very technically to understand what the subject talks about it. So it's a good example of how people have questioned the way subjects are taught and how we can improvise it. Tip number 3, never ever make assumptions, right? Never ever make assumptions, because the moment you make assumptions, you are going to be disruptive. Way back, big companies thought we are going to be some of the successful products. Product thought our camera, our rolls are going to be one of the successful things in the market. Sony at one point of time was thinking that the Walkmans are going to be always a survival product. But today, one simple mobile phone can do 100 things. And out of 100 things, it can also take photos. It can also play you that music. And today, these products are nowhere in the market. So my invite again is never make assumptions. This is how it will work. This is not possible. Always try to improve upon. Those companies which made assumptions are obsolete. Those people who made assumptions, I am happy what I'm doing, are obsolete. Maybe if you join a public sector job, it's different ball game. But if you want to be successful, if you want to be really, committed and a successful career in your corporate life, never make assumptions. Always keep improving yourself. Always take risks. Learn from failures. My invite to all of you is either you may be successful when take a risk, or you will have a learning in terms of how I can do that tomorrow. So never think that I should be safe by just keeping quiet. In colleges, you may be asked, can somebody lead this event? Don't wait for somebody else to think, let somebody do. Why should I take a risk? If your staff says any questions, don't wait for let somebody ask, let me wait. So it's good to always take risks. Either you may learn or you may be successful. A good example of that is way back, Nokia said, because in 90s, Nokia was the, one of the strongest player in the mobile industry, but it took time. In the end of 2010s, they actually went down very bad. The CEO said, we did not do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. The key thing is they learn from the failure. And today, if you see Nokia, they are doing very successful products in many parts of the globe. They are very successful in many other areas. They have brought back their lost customers. So sometimes you may fail, but always important is how you can learn and move on. Another beautiful example of how people taking risk, learn from failure happened was the way Post-its. I don't know if you guys used Post-its in your college. It's a simple sticky note which you can put it and keep key assignments. I put Post-its to say what assignment I have pending with my boss, what is the homework my wife has given me, when I have to pay my electricity bill, when I have to pay my telephone bill. I put all those Post-its here and there so that I remember what are my important tasks. This product again was actually brought in accidentally. It didn't happen on its own. They were designing something else, but accidentally the Post-it product came. So my invite is always take risks, always learn from failures, and never be afraid of nothing. I should only be successful. What if this fails? Never bring that attitude. Always experiment. And the last tip with which I think I should now open to all of you for a good interaction is try to build network always, guys. Always try to build network. Always try to improve relationships wherever you go. Our famous sports persons, our famous film stars, even in Bollywood, you have they may be competitors in the industry, but they will always come together. I'm sharing you a photo. This is a photo of the film fraternity of the 90s, actually, right? If you look at the photo here, it is all famous actors who were successful in 1980s. I don't know if you guys have grown by watching these movies, but if you have a brother, sister, they would have been grown by actually watching movies of all the film stars here. The key thing what I'm seeing here is they are all in the same field. They are all in the same industry, right? They are competitors for sure, but they take that time for friendship also. They don't take that competition to mind. These people who were successful in 80s, they make it a habit that every year they will come for one get together, and every year they come with a theme. 1 year golden dress, 1 year beach costume, like the Goa costume, 1 day pure white. They fix a day, they ensure they come always together. So now all of you are in college, you guys have to ensure that you make it a point that every year you connect once, you build your network, start making more networks through avenues like LinkedIn. Facebook is always good to build your casual and personal thing. But if you want to be successful today in professional, your LinkedIn has a very big brand equity. So my invite to use, get to connect with more and more people from other colleges, some known HR people. If you want to be successful through LinkedIn, it can always take you to places. So these are 5 tips which thought I should open it for some interaction. Let me check if you've got the 5 tips. Now I'll invite you to put it on the chat if you've got the 5 tips. Then we will move on. What were those 5 tips? Networking is important, yeah. What else? We should not follow assumptions. Don't make assumptions. Thank you, Archana. Be ready to soil your hand. So we saw 3 points. Basics should be strong, yeah. Taking risk and learn from failures, yeah. Thank you, Reshma. So get ready to soil your hands. You got it. You got that. Blindly following is not good. Perfect. So I think we have got all the 5 points. Thank you, guys. All of you have been so great. So let me ask here. Do you know all these people? Do you know everybody in this picture? Can you type it from to your left hand side to right hand side? From your left to right, if you could type it. Type those people you know. I'm not saying you should put all the 5. PT Usha, yes, extreme leftist PT Usha, famous athlete from Kerala. Abraham Lincoln, the most famous US president, who was known for a lot of failures. Some of you got it right. It is Indira Nooyi, Amitabh Bachchan, and our Indian singing legend, right? Dr. K. Jestas. Now, if you read the stories of all these 5 people, everybody have gone through different experiences. Success has not come to them the day when they took up their passionate life or career life. They've gone through a lot of hardships. They've gone through a lot of failures. Amitabh Bachchan was once rejected by an All India radio saying his voice will not suit. But look at his voice today, and do you believe that All India radio rejected once saying that his voice will not suit? KJ is the first few times when he sang, they said his song will not be pleasant to put it in a movie. But he's one of the person who has sang most number of movies. He has sang it for almost all the famous actors in India, and he has done it for many parts of the country. He has also sang few international songs also. Abraham Lincoln, till the age of 49, he has always seen only failures. PT Usha had a very big struggle to come up with an athlete. And think about Indira Nooyi, right? Somebody was born in Chennai, India, and today she's not only working in an MNC. She's been a CEO of a very big company, PepsiCo, for a lot of time. So think about how they would have been successful. One thing that I picked when I read their books is this is what I actually picked from what their life is. Don't stop chasing your dreams, because dream does come true, but chase your dreams, never find shortcuts. Okay. So don't stop chasing. So I would invite everybody, make a dream for yourself. Think about what you want to do in life. Have a dream for yourself. And definitely, dream it big and try to walk towards it, because definitely it will come true. And the key thing is never find shortcuts, guys. Shortcuts could give you a lot of VC way of doing things, but it will never be staying relevant with you. So if you really want to be successful, if you really want to chase your dreams, if you want to really be happy at the age of 60, follow a dream today. Pick up a dream, pick up a hobby, pick up a passion. Follow it, never find shortcuts. I'm sure if you can follow that at the age of 60, you will be peaceful. With that note, I would say that I have covered the 3 picks, the 5 emerging trends, the 5 things the HR leader has to know, and 5 campus expectation. To make it simple, this is a 1 slide handout. I have a 1 JPEG which I will put it in the chat also, so that you can straight away pick it. The summary of all the points: 5 emerging trends, 5 business acumen, and 5 things that you should know. 5 things that you can do in campus if you can be successful. And my message to you guys: don't stop chasing your dreams, because they do come true. This is where you can follow me in LinkedIn if you would like to, and if you want to write to me, my email ID for you. I will stop sharing screen now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that picture in the chat, right? But parallelly, I will invite if there are any questions, clarity. did have one question which came from your one of your friend Pragnya, right? She called me from Hyderabad a couple of weeks back. Thanks for that call. A tip in terms of as your internships, placements are coming, what is coming. See, my invite to all of you guys is life is like a marathon, right? So if I tell you today how to prepare for internship, how to prepare for a campus, it's like I'm telling you how to prepare for a marathon which is coming in February. If you follow some of the tips that I've given you, you can run marathon every day, right? So if you follow some of the 5 tips of campus, 5 things which is emerging in HR and 5 things you should know if you want to be successful in HR, if you try applying these things, you can run marathon every day. So don't worry about whether it is a campus interview tomorrow or internship interview tomorrow, or no, you want to switch jobs after 2 years. If you want to take up higher studies after 3 years, every day this kind of questions will come. So my tips for you is like, for you to run marathon every day. Not as tip to say, hey, I have a marathon race next week. Can you give me some tips how to prepare? So that's my simple take. Hope if you could follow the steps, you can be successful in whatever you take. I will put that picture in the chat. Let me see if you guys were able to download. I'll pause here to check if there are any quick questions, comments, guys. For those who have questions, put up your questions. For those who don't have questions, you can at least put a one-liner in the chat in terms of how the session was for you. One-liner. Meanwhile, people who have questions will be happy to hear. So I told about don't make assumptions, take risks. This is where you need to demonstrate. Could you please elaborate on your role as business partner? What domain of HR has the fastest growth? Okay. See, at this stage, I would encourage you to learn as much as things that you can actually take up when you join a career in HR, guys. The moment we say, I want fastest growth and I want only that job, I don't think we are doing justice to know HR as a profession. If you want to be successful as an HR, you should know all the domains in HR. That's my simple take. Because 20 years from now, you may be becoming CHRO of a company. If you want to really be a successful CHRO of a chief HR officer or a director HR, wherever you go, you should know all the aspects of what is happening in HR, right? Then you should understand all the aspects, how recruitment happens, how learning and development happens, how union has to be dealt, how labor laws has to be strengthened, how compensation benefits are worked out, how payroll and taxation happens, how retirement planning happens, how negotiations happens, how disciplinary actions. You should learn everything. Only if you learn everything, in 20 years you can be successful. So I could say that if you take up compensation benefits, you will get 3 promotions in the next 5 years. Very good. But after 10 years, you will only know what is compensation benefits. You may not know anything else. So my invite to you guys is, please try to learn by doing different jobs within HR, or try to move between companies and learn different aspects in HR. Now, what made me to stay with the company like Ford for 10 years is I joined in factory. I was doing a recruitment job for 2 years. My boss said, 2 years you've done. Would you like to take up something else? I said, happy. Then I was asked to take up factory workforce for 1 year. Then I moved to learning and development. Then I moved to compensation benefits. And now for the 4 years, I'm doing the business partnering role for our Coimbatore office. So what made me stay with this company in 10 years is I've seen different desks in the last 10 years. And today I can be successful. I'm saying that in the long term, after 20 years, if I'm senior position anywhere, if I'm a successful HR, I'll be able to pick up from whatever I've learned. So my invite to you, if you have followed the Chinese bamboo guys, don't expect a fastest growth domain. Please pick up the fundamentals, strengthen your roots. If you can do that, you can face any disruptions in your life. Otherwise, you may grow faster like a banana tree, but when a big cyclone comes, when a big simple heavy rain comes, the tree will fall down. So you guys decide whether you want to be like a banana tree by growing fast, or you would like to be like a Chinese bamboo by learning a lot of things. Somebody asked me. See, business partnering role varies from companies to company. Okay, there are a lot of ways every company does. There are in few companies, when somebody says business partner, they will do everything for a particular business. If that particular business needs recruitment, they will do the interviewing job. If the particular business says, I want training and development, the person will do training and development. In few companies, they will only do strategic work. My invite to you is, if you want to be a good, successful business partner, is you should learn the business. You should know what all things HR can do. Always connect the dots. Business will come and say, it may be, for example, if you're going to join a banking company, the person will say, we have to know, introduce 5 new branches. Okay, 5 new branches, good. Which places? What kind of people? How are we going to build people? Are we going to hire everybody outside, or are we going to transfer few people? And how are we going to train the people for this new software? If there are people who are willing to come, how are we going to take care of the relocation benefits? If we are going to hire new people, how we are going to ensure we bring them into the company, how we can balance. So if you want to be a business partner, simple. You should know what is your business. You should know what all things HR does, how to connect the dots. That's a simple way of business partnering. To do that, you should know what all HR can do. If you really want to be a successful business partner, I would say, first start with other things. You should start with recruitment. You should start with training. You should start with union interactions. Only then you will know what are the different things HR can do. And then you can be a successful player there. That's how I have learned. I may be wrong, but there are other people who started only business partnering. They're only doing that job. But whether they have been able to do justice to both business and other aspects of HR, it's a double-edged sword. As an HR in an MNC like Ford, what are major problems you have faced initially in your career, right? Interesting question. I would say problems are there every day. Don't think that no, it is not there today. Even today, there are hundreds of problems. It's about how do you learn and move on. Some problems could deeply impact you. Some problems could really excite you. Some problems could always inspire you to do things. But it's always about learning from the things that come your way. When I joined from Ashok Leyland to Ford, the biggest experience was the cultural difference. Ashok Leyland was a completely different ball game. Ford, as a being American company, was a different ball game. How do you respect the cultures? How do you respect the way of working? How do you ensure you balance between different people? I had worked with a lot of people from different parts of the country, right? And different parts of the globe. I was doing one project with a person in China. One person was sitting in America. Another person was sitting in Europe. They all think differently. But still, you will have to bring that HR element. You should bring that India element into that policy, right? So it's about how do you learn now from the companies you start. So I would say every company will have its own plus and minus. Every job will have its own plus and minus. You always try to see what you can learn from it. That should always speak as you move on. What is the one last? So you are saying this is the last question. Is that the way I can pick that answer? Anyway, on a lighter vein, what is that one advice suggestion for yours being MBA students? My first invite to you all is, don't think that you're MBA students. You are all next gen HR folks. If you see my title slide, I'll just bring the title slide. Right? I didn't put you all as MBA students. I put the title slide as, where is that? You are the next gen HR folks. So think that you guys are going to be the next generation HR. Right? If you're going to be a successful HR, you should know what is business and you should know what all things HR can do. You should try to connect the dots. You should know your employees. If you can do that, you can be successful anywhere, guys. I can tell you that. HR is always like the bridge between what the business will think and what people will think. You should always try to connect the dots. It is we who can only speak on behalf of the people, and to the people, it is we who can only speak on behalf of the business. If we have to really do that, that's the business partnering. So think like, if you're traveling in a train, there will be a bridge which will connect you between places, especially in Kerala. NIT Calicut Ferro Bridge is very clear, right? Farouk Bridge is one of the famous bridge which is near Calicut. I'm not sure if there is any other bridge which I can tell you. So any bridge, one side you will have business, another side you will have employees. The success of the bridge believes in how the HR of the company is strong. If the bridge is strong, if the HR systems is strong, the company is successful. It can always ensure any trains can go successfully. So that's my simple advice to what the question that Amjad Roshan has put. So don't think that your MBA students, you are all next gen HR folks, and try to connect, be the bridge between your business and people. For that, you should know business. For that, you should know people, and you should be knowing what is the technology and other trends around you. Simply, I'm giving you one pocket card. I've already put it on the chat. If you can follow that, and I think my answer is done there. Any other questions? I think I've answered whatever has come in the chat. Otherwise, I'm conscious of time. I will give it back to Christy Soni, sir. Were you guys able to download the picture which I put it in the chat? I would like to see if it is around 8:12 p.m. that I put it a pager on the chat. See if you guys were able to download it. Otherwise, I will put it over WhatsApp to Christy Soni, who coordinated with me. And I would like to say special thanks to Christy Soni, who has been in touch with me from the time we had this planning, and Pragnya, who called me a couple of weeks back to share these are some things that we have in mind. And special thanks to Jitin for connecting the dots. Great. You've been able to download. So any questions? I'm happy. Otherwise, I will hand it over back to the event coordinators. Any tips for attending the interview for HR roles? So guys, this is what I said. You guys are asking me about how to run a marathon next week. My tips for you was always about how you can run marathon every day. So my answer to Nihal is download that one pager I gave you. There are 15 points totally, 5 points as emerging trends, 5 points as HR leader of the future, and 5 points as what you should do on campus. In each of that, at least pick one and apply for yourself. If you can do that, I'm sure you can overcome any HR interview. And another thing I can tell you very simply is, person who's sitting as HR other side was a student like you one day. And today you may be an interview candidate. Tomorrow you are also going to be an HR person in any company, right? So think confidently, express yourself confidently. Maybe you will get success in that company, or you may learn how to do better in the next company. That's all, right? So don't think that I should get placed in the first interview I sit. If I have lost it, then my life is gone. No. People who get placed in first company, they may know how to answer only 3 questions, but people who have sat for 5 interviews, they would be ready to answer 15 questions. In the 6th company, they will be smarter also, because they would have seen all the interviews. They would have learned what all ways people ask. So look at how do you manage it and move on. So my request is, don't take pieces as how to run a marathon tomorrow. Try to learn that in such a way that you can run marathon every day. Understand what's business, what your subject says, what the technology says. Build your network. Automatically, you guys can face any interviews and you can always be successful. Trust that answers you, Nihal K. Nasser. And I'm assuming that you guys may do some part-time internship or assignment somewhere. Wherever you go, do 100% justice. Don't do it for the sake of the university said or your parents said, family said. Do it for your, professional experience. In UG, you would have done some internship. Perhaps we would have not even gone to the company where you have a letter said, no, we did a project in this company for 30, 40 days. But the PG guys, be more sincere to yourself. Try to give 100% to whichever assignments come your way. I'm sure you can be successful wherever you go, but at the same time, enjoy the journey. Don't put too much stress on yourself. Don't push yourself too much hard. It's my dream company. Don't burn the midnight lamp the day before interview and think, if I don't get this placed, my life is gone. Don't pray all the gods the day before interview and think everything will happen. Just take life as it goes. What is destined to you will definitely come to you. But you should always learn every day and move on. Yeah, sorry, somebody was trying to say something. I had interrupted.
So, sir, if there is no more questions, then we can invite Mr. Jidin to say the vote of thanks. Over to you, Jidin.
Thank you, Christy.
I would invite if for 1 minute. Sorry, Jithan, I'm just overshooting. If I could,
it's okay, sir. Thank you.
invite everybody to just put it in the chat for in one line. What did you actually pick in the session? Just in one line, if you could just type it, then I think it's a happy ending for you and me. Parallelly, Jithan can do the honors. Go ahead, Jithan. Jithan, you can continue. I don't want to interrupt you. You can continue.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jitin. I'm here to present the vote of thanks for our today's session. It was very informative one. First of all, I would like to thank you for Mr. Muralikrishnan, sir, for visiting and enlightening us with your knowledge. And thank you, sir, for taking out time from your busy schedule and sharing this much time with us. And I would like to taking this opportunity to thank you for the NIPM Student Council at SOMS and NITC, all the student coordinators, and thank you for all student coordinators and faculties. And thank you for all the students who are joined here or present here for their, thank you for their participation and learning. Hope you have enjoyed the session. Once again, thank you, sir. Thank you for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Wish you all the best and keep it going. I'm available in LinkedIn as and when you guys need any support from me. All the best, guys.